Hey guys, it's Captain Stach here. I came to revisit a situation about where I said that you cannot turn off the lights on the board. Now that I got some feedback in the comments on how to do that, we're going to take a look at how to turn off the lights on the GoChess chessboard. Once again, I'm using a GoChess Lite with it's the Classic Edition. So let's go ahead and dive into that. Also in this video, I'm going to kind of show some specifications that I did not get a chance to go over in my last video. I'm going to go over the weights and the measurements of the chess pieces. I'm also going to measure the board and kind of look at that as well. Finally, I'll conclude with the actual weight of the board with all the chess pieces on it. This is the GoChess Lite Classic Edition. So without further ado, first let's demonstrate on how to turn off the lights now that I was told how to do it in the comment section. So I do appreciate that. Shout out to teaching me how to do that. Let's actually see if it works though, because I have not done this myself. This will be me actually doing it live for you guys. So let's check it out. But before I begin, I would like to ask you guys to please leave a like, comment, even subscribe, because it helps me out to let me know that you enjoy the content that I'm making. So once again, thanks for all your support, guys. Let's go ahead and just dive into this video. Thanks. So right now we're kind of in my point of view. This is how I see it. This is actually pretty much how we left it set up in my last video. So this is a great continuation from that because I did not put away anything after I made the video. So let's go ahead and set up another face-to-face real quick. And we're gonna see if we can turn off the lights mid-match. Now, the answer might be obvious, and maybe it was covered up by one of the pieces, so I never noticed it, but I was told that if we press that light bulb, that's going to turn off the colors of the board. Right now, the board is turned off, so I'm gonna turn it on. We'll watch the little light show. Look at that. That was so fun. Okay, and let's see, kind of waiting for some kind of indicator of, hey, you gotta set up the board, but nothing has actually happened on the screen yet. Let's make sure we're paired. We're not paired. That's the problem, guys. We're not set up to connect to the board. Okay, and I did charge the board the other night, and cool, we're at a 95%. Not sure if it's because it didn't charge or if it was on, or maybe just the battery depletes when it's not in use, but 5% seems a little drastic. So I'm gonna assume that maybe the board isn't charged to 100% just to preserve the battery. That's what I would hope at least. And please forgive me because I may not know. I could be completely wrong. And even looking at the battery now, it's actually bumped up to 97%. So it could be one of those things where it's still checking the battery cells as well. Now that we're paired to the board and everything is synced up, let's try this one more time. I'm going to do a face-to-face. Boom, okay, cool. It's telling me that my pieces are not set up. We'll set up our pieces. Maybe I should know where the pieces go first. That was a joke, haha. All right. Game is ready, it's happy. Let's demonstrate. We have white all lit up. We got our best move with this pawn over here. We got the pink highlight. So hypothetically, I don't want all these colors on my side. I find it distracting and I would like the GoChess board to not show any lights. So let's hit that light bulb and see what happens. Boom. Guys, it happened in real time. The lights just shut off. Let me actually film the pieces again and I'll turn it back on and I'll turn it back off. Boom, off, and turn it back off, boom, they all shut off. So I'm curious, let me make a first move. We'll go with the king here, king's pawn. Okay, and it did an indicator that I moved my piece. Now that it's black's turn, no indicator that it's their turn though, which is kind of interesting. So in that case, with that said, I'm trying to think about the benefit here. If we can't see whose turn it is or the best move indicators, I'm not sure what the purpose is of playing on the smart chessboard. Now, obviously, I think the immediate benefit that comes to mind is that it's still happening in real time on the device that you're playing on. So if you're playing on an iPad or on your phone, the game is still being recorded. You can still see the moves happening digitally while they're happening in real time. So I guess you could still play online or against AI and have it on your device while you play. Like I said, it's just not connecting the dots for me of why you would want to do this, but I'm surely, as I mentioned before, if the lights are distracting, maybe that'd be a good reason to do it. Otherwise, it kind of defeats one of the appeals, at least for me as a learning chess player on the journey to Grandmaster, right, is that I'm not sure why you would want to turn off the lights. But with that said, it is possible. So apologies and a correction to my last video. I wish I could go back and change it, but at least I can redirect people to this video to show the correction and that it is possible to turn off the lights on your board. But now I'm going to go ahead and weigh and measure the pieces and the board itself. And after that, I'm going to now weigh the board as well. So go ahead and stick around. And I'll show you the specifics for the GoChess Lite Classic Edition. All right, so initially I had a weight scale that I was going to use to measure it. However, that did not play out as intended. So instead we'll do some great maths where basically you measure each corner and then just add them together. So if each corner weighs 1,500 grams, I'll just do the math for you. It's gonna end up being 6,000 grams, which converts into about 13.5 pounds, which I think is pretty much what it's supposed to weigh at. So that's with all the pieces on the board. The board is turned on, so it's magnetized for the pieces themselves. Let's go ahead and take the pieces off, and I expect to see a drastic change in weight. So right now, all the pieces are off. It's kind of exactly how we left it. And now we're only at 905 grams. So we lost almost 600 grams just by removing the pieces from the board. Let's try one more thing. Let's see if it changes if we turn the power off. I don't know if there's any kind of magnetism going on, but that could also, impact the weight as well. So let's go ahead and check that out. I'm gonna turn it off real quick. Power button's next to here. There it goes. All right, let's see if anything changed on our scale. And I don't think it did. I think I accidentally tapped it so it changed by 1 gram, but either way, no changes from turning it off and on. 3,600 grams, which would be what this corner is times 4. So in total, without the pieces on the board, it weighs a total of 7 pounds and about 15 ounces. So adding the pieces themselves almost doubles the weight, which is just fascinating to me. Okay, and with that, I will show you kind of the weights of each piece. So we have our pawn that comes in at 1 fluid ounce. All right, here we go. We have our pawn that comes in at 31 grams. Next, we have our rook that comes in at 33 grams. We have the knight that comes in at 31 grams. We have the bishop that comes in at 33 grams. And we have our queen who comes in at 34 grams. And the big guy, we have the king coming in at 32 grams. Just for comparison, we'll weigh black as well. Black coming in at 32 grams. So let's do a double take. Is the black piece heavier? It is. Nope, it's the same. We're good. Okay. So now at this point, I'm going to measure each of the chess pieces, and we're going to use the AR feature using the iPhone. And first, we're just going to measure the dimensions of the board itself. So we're going to start with this corner and then drag it over to the other corner, and we get to about 19 inches. Oh, wait. Can't do that. I need to go back real quick. Start over, fresh, new corner, lock it in, boom, we're gonna drag it, 19 inches, lock that in, come back again, and here we are, another 19 inches, and I have a pretty good idea what the last side of the board will be. 19 and a half. No, just kidding. It's 19 inches. It's just because of, how they are all set up. Converting that, we get to 48 centimeters or 1 foot 7 inches. So that checks out. Just making sure that's right. Okay, so now that we have measured the board, let's go ahead and take a look at how tall each piece is. So we'll check the height, and we'll start with the king. King comes in at, is it 4 inches? Let's look. Oh, nope. Gotta love the AR, it's so cool. Let's lower it just a little bit, make sure we get the little tip of the crown there. 4.5 inches. I'm not sure, but we'll go with 4.5, 12 centimeters. I could be wrong. It could actually be shorter, but, we'll just press. All right, next we got the queen's height. We'll start with a new measurement. Click it, boom, 3 inches. And That lines up right. And I think the king's closer to 3 3 3/4. All right, so because I can't let it go, let's remeasure this king. Yeah, that's what I thought. 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches is much more realistic measurement than before. Let's also take a look at the rook. Go here. Rook comes in at 2 inches, it looks like. Let's do the knight. Kind of like that, it just locks in. Yeah, that's nice. Look at that. All right, so 2.5 inches for the knight. And finally, let's take a look at the pawn in comparison. Go right here. Looks like 2 inches to me. Yep, looks solid. I know it's a little slanted, but 2 inches is just about right. Oh, and the bishop. Let's go ahead and just see how the bishop compares. Start here, 2.5 inches as well for the bishop. All right, guys, that about wraps it up. So I appreciate you watching and learning more about the specifications for the GoChess Lite Classic Edition. Still looking forward to the 1XR and the 4XR, 2XR, all the XRs. Can't wait for those to come out. I appreciate you guys leaving feedback in the comments and telling me how to work this thing. So much appreciated. Finally, if you haven't already, please make sure that you like and subscribe. Your support helps me out and lets me know that you enjoy the content that I'm making. So once again, thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Captain Stach out. This is your captain speaking.